Hi, Matt with eTrailer. Today we brought down a couple boxes just to talk about what some of the differences and which is going to be the best compact box for you. And really with compact boxes, they're going to be more so for the person who's looking at just throwing a couple extra things up in the box, or you're going on those smaller trips and you need to throw that extra gear somewhere. This is going to be a great solution for you. It's also going to be perfect for anyone who's trying to save a lot of space on top of your roof and in your garage, and they're going to be very affordable and really easy to load and unload from your roof. There's not a whole lot of compact roof boxes, and today I have three with me. Off to the side right here, I am going to have the Trunx Roof Box. Over on the right side, I am going to have the Benton Shell Raiser, and all the way over here, we're going to have the Thule Sidekick. And they're going to have a lot of differences and similarities to them. So let's really focus on what they have in common. One thing you probably noticed is the shape of these boxes. And they're all going to be a very similar style, and that's going to be a little bit more bulky or clunky. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not as clean of a finish as some of the more premium boxes out there. But these are also going to be a lot more affordable rather than some of those larger boxes. They're also going to attach to your roof the same way, and that's going to be via your roof rack. They're also going to be really easy to load onto that roof rack because they're not going to weigh very much. And they're all going to have locking mechanisms built into them so no one can come by and take your stuff. One of the biggest things that's going to separate all these boxes is going to be how it operates. So with the box we have right here, the Trunx, this is going to be the most different out of all of them because we're going to have two lock cores on the front. The Thule will also have two lock cores as well, and that's what they have in common. But this box also has this little latch on the side. Now there's going to be one on the very front and one on the very back. And with that undone, then you can actually push this up. And this is the tricky part with this box. You're going to find that it's not going to hold itself up. You're actually going to have to lift up. You find this lever on the side, and this is going to be the hinge lock. This is something that you manually have to do yourself. With the other two boxes, the Shell Raiser and the Thule, that's actually going to be a lot easier to work with. And the reason I say that is they're going to be the most in common. Now, the Benton will only have one lock core, so you just need to make sure you undo that. And you can lift up. And this will actually have hinge locks, so you don't have to worry about it falling down on you or really putting it up manually. One thing that really separates the Shell Raiser from the other two boxes is it can actually be open from either side. And this is more of a premium feature, and why I like this is for two reasons. The first reason is when you're loading your gear, if one side of your vehicle is blocked, you can just simply go over to the other side and still have access to your box. The second one is going to be initially loading the box up here, because sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to reach over to the other side and tighten down your clamps. So what I like to do is loosely install one side, push it over, and then tighten down the other side. And speaking of those clamps, if we move over to the Thule box, we can see what we're dealing with. And all the clamps we have today are going to be pretty similar when it comes to how much space they take up. They're all very low profile clamps. Now the Thule and the Trunx clamps are probably the most similar. They're both going to be U-bolt styles that will secure from underneath the crossbar and grab onto some hand knobs up top. And to get a better look at the Trunx U-bolt, you'll notice it is a little bit different. We are going to have this divot at the very bottom, but the largest difference between this one is if we look right here, we're only going to have one mounting location. Unlike the Thule, you will have a few other mounting locations. If you want a different mounting location with the Trunx Roof Box, you're actually going to have to drill into the hole to really expand the spread. And moving over to the Shell Raiser, you're going to notice the way this clamps down is a little bit different. Instead of a U-bolt, we're going to have a cable. And looking at the inside of our box, you're going to notice we have a totally different mechanism. So this is going to allow you to work with a wider range of crossbar spreads. We're going to have a point where we can add a strap to help cinch our stuff down. Now there is one thing you got to watch out for. You got to watch out if you're not careful about adjusting your settings. You can get this U-bolt to stick out like this, and that can snag on your gear. But what's really nice about these clamps is they are going to be great for if you want to work with a wider range of crossbar spreads. We talked a little bit about crossbar spread, and that's going to be one big thing that really separates all these boxes. Now, I know I said that the show razor is going to have the widest range, which is really important, especially if you're going to lend this out to friends. Now, what's also important to think about is all the mounting locations. Like I said with the Trunx, you only have that one mounting location, but you can maximize that to a spread of 30 inches. To do that though, you're going to have to drill into your box. I'm personally not a big fan of that because drilling into your box is going to be another potential point for water to get in. The same is going to be for the Thule. The Thule is going to have a couple more mounting locations where you can put that U-bolt through, but if you want a wider range, then you can actually drill some holes into this too. I still don't recommend it because, again, that's going to lead to some points where water can get in. Honestly, one of the biggest things that's going to separate all these boxes is going to be the price. Looking at the difference between the Trunx and the show razor, there's not going to be that big of a gap. Those are probably going to be the most similar. We're going to see the biggest jump is going to be with the Thule. And honestly, at that price range, I'd just recommend jumping up to a larger box, one with more premium features. And talk about those more premium features, that's one of the reasons why I like the show razor. And honestly, it's probably going to be my top pick today. The reason being, when it comes to really just working with these on a daily basis, I think they're going to be all just as difficult or as easy as the other one. I think it's going to come down to what premium features you get at whatever price range. I think you're getting the most premium features with the show razor. Like I said earlier, you're going to have hinge locks, you can open up from either side, and it's going to be locking, and it's going to be the most adjustable out of all of them, while being at a very similar price range to the Trunx. If you still need more information on any of the boxes we talked about today, we have plenty of content on them explaining in our videos about the box and how it's going to fit on different vehicles. But again, this was just a look at the similarities and differences between our compact roof boxes. I'm Matt, thanks for watching.